All right, so we're doing another, or I should say I'm doing another video, but this time I have my little girl here. Say hi
Hi.
to all my classes. Right? Say hi.
Hi.
Again. All right. And this time I'm making a video on, can you read it there? The top 10 writing peeves that I've got. So I'm going to be telling you some things that you should not be doing, and what? Oh, she's gonna be reading some of the stuff, and then I'll be explaining it. I figured we kind of mix it up because really all it is like you can get this off of the website, but I still want to go over it because I didn't want to do it in class because I thought it would take a while, and it's not the most exciting thing, and there's not a whole lot of mystery to it, but still it's really important because these 10 things, no matter what writing you do, this stuff should not be occurring in any of your writing. And if you commit it to like memory and make it a habit, a lot of this stuff like will drive your future English teachers crazy. And if you avoid this stuff, it goes hand in hand with good writing no matter what you do. So she's going to read some of it, and then I will fill you in on what I meant by some of that. And I think it's a lot better that we do it this way than taking up the class time to do it, right? So you can do it, 10 different things. If you want to watch the video after like 2 of them, come back to it later. But you shouldn't have all of these in, or avoid all of these things in your first writing, which is due by the end of the week. So I'm going to post this tomorrow, Tuesday. You got a couple days to watch it. Make sure these things are not in your short story analysis or anything else you do for that matter. All right, ready? Okay, you got to be loud, right? So you just start here. Number 1.
No lame titles.
Okay, so what that means is what we're doing right now is a short story analysis, and I do not want to see the title of your short story analysis be short story analysis. What? You gonna say something? No? Okay, so remember, titles come from your snazzy phrase in your conclusion. Number 2.
No texting language.
What does that mean?
They don't do like language that you text with.
Yeah, and can you give me an example of like something? Well, you don't text, do you? But do you know what people do when they text? Like what they say? Oh, well, it's right here. But I put this on the board like within the first week of class. But like like you are for the letter U, and R for.
I think I know.
Oh, you have one? Okay.
Like, don't do like just do the letter U, like spell the word.
Ooh, that was so good. Say it again.
Don't do the letter U, do the whole word.
Perfect. Right. So no abbreviations.
And don't do the number 2, do the word 2.
Spell out numbers. I love it. Perfect. Number 3.
Do not write for school in the same tone that you would take with your BFF.
Okay. So what I mean by that is I put this on the board too. You should do SWE, which stands for
Standard Writing English.
Written English. Yeah. So I'm not expecting you to talk exactly the way you write, but when you're doing something for English class or for any class for school, you need to have that academic tone. So creative writing, you can take whatever tone for your character you want, but for academic writing, you have to sound smart. Number 4. Yeah, go ahead.
You may not use the following words.
Okay.
Did I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Things and stuff.
Yeah. If you use the word things and you use the word stuff, you're not actually saying anything, right? So if you say there's a lot of things my character has to go through and they have to like put up with a lot of stuff, that's not saying anything.
Should I read the sentence?
Yeah, do be.
Just.
Yeah, don't use the word just. If you say he just did this or I just feel that, take out the word just and the sentence reads just fine the way it is. Just fine the way it is. So take out the word just because it weakens whatever you say immediately after that. And the next thing you should never do, see?
Really, very so.
Right. So if you say he's really sad, think of a word that means really sad.
Extremely.
Extremely is much better, yes. And, or if he's extremely sad, there's a word called like despondent or remorse. Being remorse. Huh?
I didn't know those.
Oh, okay. Well, despondent means extremely sad. Morose means really sad. There's lots of words you can use besides really and very and so. And my favorite would be the combination of just so. He's just so mean. Well,
Just so bossy.
yeah, he's bossy. Right, there you go. So, okay, no things, no stuff, no just, no really, very so. And the next one?
Like.
Unless you're using it as a verb, such as I like to go swimming in the summer, you can use it. But if you are putting the word like there, where you're just doing it as a filler, that's another one you shouldn't do. So stringing them all together. He's just so like mean.
He's just so like bossy.
Yeah. The next one.
Kind of, sort of.
If he's kind of bossy, just say he's bossy. If he's sort of bossy, well, either he's bossy or he's something similar to bossy, but another word. So kind of, sort of, kinda, sorta, don't do it. F, yes. What word are those? What words?
I don't know the word.
Do you want me to read it?
You can just tell me it.
Well, what's that one?
Basically.
Yeah. Say it again.
Basically.
Right. I see basically a lot. So it's basically this. Take it out.
Basically this.
And then the other word. Can you sound it out?
Obviously.
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
Obviously.
If it's obvious, then why do you need to say it? Think about that. It's kind of deep, right? Well, obviously, da 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 da. Well, then either don't say it, or it's not that obvious because you needed to write about it. So then take out the word obvious. Oh, and a new one too. It's my favorite. Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah, you know where that's from, right? Yeah, where do you know that word?
From the video of the boy. When they asked him what it was like, and yeah. And he keeps on saying apparently.
Right. So now everybody's using it, and I probably used it before, but now every time I use it, it's like sticks out in my mind because I think of that cute little red-headed boy from, I think it was Wilkes-Barre, which is around here, by the way. But yeah, if something is apparently something, then just take it out. Huh? Social studies?
Yeah. It's from around here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. G. Literally.
Yeah. You don't need to you don't need to say literally because you're writing a paper which is made up of words. So you literally are talking about what you actually mean. The other option is figuratively, and
That's not how you say literally. It's literally. That's not how you say literally. It's literally.
Okay.
You gotta nod your head.
Okay, if that's how you roll. But you can be literal. You can be literal or you can be figurative. So this is actually really important. If something is literal, it's like word for word what you mean. So if I literally broke my leg, it means I broke my leg, I went to the emergency room, and it snapped. That's
I got a cast.
Right. But figurative is when you are shaping meaning with your words. So if you say, I'm gonna die. If he finds out, I'm just gonna die. You are not literally going to die.
Just because you don't like it does not mean like you're gonna die.
Right. So, or if you say, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting in line forever." Really?
Die.
Forever? That that you're just being overly dramatic. You're exaggerating. But if you say, "Oh, I literally waited in line for 2 hours," it's because it was an hour and 20 minutes. So when you're doing an analysis of something, you don't need to say literally, because obviously that's what you're talking about when you're saying that he's the protagonist and the antagonist, and you don't need to say he's literally the protagonist, because how can you talk about that figuratively? So
Should I read? What's that word?
we'll say that first part.
I think.
Right. So that's another thing you should not be saying is I think. I don't want to hear I think. Obviously, it's what you think because you wrote the paper. You're going to say something?
I think.
All right. So all those words you should not be using. Thing, stuff, just, really, very so, like, kind of, sort of,
Literally.
obviously, basically, literally, and I think. But there's a couple more too. So 5.
No referring to the paper in the paper.
If you say in this paper I will, I'm going to lose my mind. I know it's a paper. I'm holding the paper. It's a paper. Don't ever say in this paper. Yeah. Or essay, in this essay, or in this poem, in this analysis. Now, you're talking about a short story that we read, so you can say in the short story, not my short story, because you didn't write it, but not in this paper or in the paper. Sure, you can say something.
Even though if it's not like your paper, but like if it's not like your book, but everybody has a different book, you shouldn't say it's your book.
Right, because you didn't write it.
Yeah.
In my novel that I read over the summer. Your novel? No, you didn't write it.
Even though you bought it doesn't mean it's just like you didn't write it.
Very good. Chip off the old block. All right, next one. Number 6.
Do not put the same wording in the introduction.
Keep going.
Topic, sentence, and conclusion.
Right. So that might have been something some of you might have gotten into the habit in middle school where the introduction is say what you're going to say, and then your body is say it, and then in your conclusion it's and now tell them what you said. Yeah, you just said the same thing 3 times in a row. Don't want to read that. So your introduction is hinting at what the body is going to be. It's like a foreshadow, if you will, kind of. And then your conclusion is not repetitive from the introduction. It is supposed to take all the things in your body paragraphs and bring it all together, add it all together, and present it to the reader. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know about like the Jerry Springer show. Not a great show, but Jerry Springer has all of this like really weird stuff on his show with all these families fighting and all that stuff. But then at the end, he sits on a chair and talks to the camera and says kind of like what the whole point of it was. Like it's his final thought. So that's what your conclusion should be, is the final thought of your paper. That is not the same thing you said in the introduction.
That's her opinion, if she doesn't like it.
Yeah, but I'm the teacher, so my opinion's pretty valid.
Okay. 7. Do not put all your points in the first paragraph.
Yeah, what?
Like, if you have like 4 points, and you want to write like 4 paragraphs, you could put all your points in each paragraph.
Right. But
Don't
you
like stick them together, and the rest of the story would be boring.
right. And you don't want to say all the stuff in your first paragraph. Like if you say, there are 3 reasons why I think we should get a cat. The 3 reasons why we should get a cat are because they're cute, they teach responsibility, and they can watch the house.
You could put like 3 reasons why we should get a cat. Blah blah blah. First thingy.
Well, my point is, though, if you put all of your reasons in the very first introductory paragraph, you don't need to read the rest of the whole
story, because then you're like, they already told me it, like, what am I gonna read?
Right. You want to like withhold some of that for the reader to make them read. You just say that a cat's really important for a variety of reasons.
You could write one of the reasons, and then you could do like you could write all of them, and then you could write like the rest of the paragraph about one, and then the next about the other one.
Yeah, and the thing too is
It'll
some of the
make it
skills
more
organized. See, that's one of the domains. And the thing too is some of the stuff that you're learning in elementary school, like those are really good practices. But then what you do is you get older and you learn different types of techniques and things like that. So what they're teaching you at your level is good to get your thoughts down and organized and everything. But then when you get to the high school, you take different approaches that have a higher level. A different way to, different approach. It's like a different way to attack something. Not attack like aha, but like attack the job. Yeah. Yeah, number 8.
Number 8. Do not use this in a subject.
As a subject.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't say, this is a reason. What you'll say is, this character
Has this.
does something. Or instead of saying, this is why this character does this, you would say, this struggle is why. So you don't never want to say this is. It should be this thing that you're talking about, and then the verb.
9. Do not start or end paper with a question.
Yeah. Now, some people may have been told in the past that that's a great way to hook the what? What are you doing? What?
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm pointing me.
What? Because you've done that in the past?
They always tell me
To what?
to do a question or something. Like a question lead or a snapshot or
Oh.
yeah.
But see, like I said, that's like good for your level. But then when you get a little bit older...
For my story, I did an action lead, I think, because it said, wake up, Iris dad said to go to the hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's different because you were doing creative writing, right? So that was, wake up, Iris said as she, So for creative writing, yeah, that actually proves my point, is for creative writing, something like that, like startles the reader and gets your attention. But when you're doing a short story analysis, you don't want to ask a question. It's your job to tell me what the story is about, how the author used certain techniques to convey the message, and you don't want to start by asking me a question or putting at the very end, what do you think? That's not a high school level technique.
10. Do not suddenly end a piece of writing just because you failed the word, count, minimum, or ran out of room.
Right. So if you're almost at the end of a page, don't wrap it up really quickly because you don't want like a sentence at the end like to spill onto another page. Just write until you're done. Who cares that it went on to another page? Huh?
you're halfway down the story, like I wrote a paragraph, it was half the page.
Okay.
And I asked her, is this too big for a paragraph? She's like, no. And then, like, it doesn't matter how much you write. It's just because, like, you know a lot of details. And, like, that's good because then the reader will want to read it more.
Right.
And then it's more pages. It doesn't matter how many pages it is.
Right. And
like, you could fit, like, 2 paragraphs on, like, 2 pages. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right. And I tell my students that they need to have a certain amount of words in order to do it. And I don't want you guys to stop writing your paper and cut it short just because you hit the word count.
Like if you needed 100 words, if you get 100 words, don't stop the story.
If you still have more story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Makes sense. Right?
My friend, I know it's not good to talk about them.
Then you shouldn't.
I know.
So then just put a period right there. Okay? All right. So that was it. And thank you for helping me with this video for my high school students. And yeah, our cat's over there. You want to go get Karma?
Yeah, Karma.
All right. See. We had shown her before, but there she is again. So that was 20 minutes. That was half a period. Not so bad. You will probably watch it over the course of a couple of days, and it was kind of neat actually to hear you talk about some of the stuff too, because at elementary school, like, you're learning different techniques for writing, and they're great techniques, and some of them stay even all the way up through high school, and it's neat to have a little refresher course to know that it's, you've been doing it for years and years. But then it's also kind of neat to see how there's one expectation at this level, and what level? You're 4th grade. And then the whole thing though is what she's learning, if you keep some of those techniques all the way into high school, yeah, that's you want to be kicking it up a little bit. So you learn some skills in elementary school, and then you develop them and learn some new skills, and then sometimes you keep the same stuff, and sometimes you have to change it up, right?
Can I do this a little bit? Next time, can I do it?
You like doing this? You like making the video? Okay, well, I had fun doing it with you, and you had fun, and hopefully everyone out there enjoyed it as well. So we will say goodbye, right? Say bye. Say bye, Iris.
Bye.
And we'll see you later.